Tuna, CEO, Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
Paul Dumars, committee member and chair.
Heather Knust, I'm the Chief Financial Officer and Committee Liaison.
Leanne Evans, School District Treasurer.
Sherry Brown, committee member.
Blair Littlejohn, Office General Counsel.
Okay, do we have any public comments?
Take, Mr. Chairman, find out who else from the committee might be on the
I'm
line as
sorry.
well.
Yes.
Okay, those that are,
I didn't break it, did I?
for those who have called in, would you please give us your name and your role here?
So the number, the telephone number that ends in 89, that's committee member Mr. Stanley Siegel. And we also have Ms. Karen Brill, board member, on the line as well. And we have the principal representative, Patricia Ordonza, as well as the other member that you see on there, or the other item you see on there is Mark Murray, and he's our AV specialist assisting with the meeting today for technology purposes. And Howard Rosenhaus is Mr. Stanley Siegel as well.
Okay, with that, we'll move forward and seek approval of the minutes from the April 30th, 2021 meeting.
So move.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we'll move to new business. You want to take over at this point?
Yes, so we have the final year-end expenditure report for the period that ended June 30th, 2021, so fiscal year 2021. The total revenue collected related to the referendum was $213 million, and the total that we expended was actually less than the $213 million. So this is the first year that we did spend less, so we spent a total of $208.8 million, and that left a remaining amount of $4.6 million. And so that remaining amount will carry forward to this current fiscal year of FY22. And we are utilizing that additional revenue in order to help not reduce the teacher supplements, referendum supplements. Mr. Littlejohn is going to give an update shortly on give an update on the charter school lawsuit and where we stand with that. But we have been ordered to pay the charter schools going back to July 1st of 2021. And so as a result of that, we did set aside in this year's budget $25 million of the current year referendum. And in order to not cut any of the expenditures within the current referendum, we're utilizing this carry forward amount of $4.6 million to offset the additional shortfall. We also, in FY23, are going to see an increase in the referendum of about $10 million. So the increase in the referendum, the revenue generated of $10 million, plus the nearly $5 million in the carry forward funds, then the additional amount of the $10 million was funded by the general fund in order to keep the teacher referendum supplements whole in the current year without having any reductions.
Okay, we will entertain a motion to approve and accept the report.
So moved.
Second. Second.
It's been properly moved in second that we accept the report going through June 2021. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next is on the agenda is the charter school lawsuit.
Good morning. So Heather asked me to give you a quick rundown on the lawsuit. We are actually in all three of the different levels of Florida state courts right now with this case. We got an order just earlier this week from the circuit court judge, as Heather mentioned, ordering us to begin paying on a go-forward basis the charter schools dating back to July 1 of this year. We have also filed a motion with the 4th DCA, which is who the court that entered the judgment against us saying that we had to share this referendum money to stay the circuit court order pending a decision by the Florida Supreme Court about whether they will take the case. And then the jurisdictional briefs have been filed with the Florida Supreme Court, and we are awaiting their decision about whether they will entertain the case or not. So it's going on in all three courts. The circuit court also has pending with it, and they have not set for a hearing yet, a hearing on the retroactivity of this, going back to the first 2 years of the referendum. The charter schools have asserted that they're entitled to their pro rata share of the proceeds from those first 2 years as well. We're contesting that. And so at some point in the fairly near future, we expect that Judge Kelly will schedule that hearing and hear some testimony and ultimately issue a ruling on that. We hope that that won't happen until the Florida Supreme Court has weighed in about whether they'll take the case, and if they agree to take the case, hopefully everything will be stayed while the proceedings go forward there. But right now, we are in a position where we've got to at least get ready to pay for the July and August payments and probably September for the charter schools.
We have any comments?
Just a question. Blair, how do they address, some of those charter schools have gone out of business since this all started? Yeah, do you have to give them money, or you only give the money to the existing charters?
Great question, and nobody has weighed in on that. If there's no school out there, no entity out there to, claim that money, then we're certainly not going to write a check to an entity that's no longer in business.
Yeah, if they're no longer serving,
Right.
they shouldn't get it.
Right. I completely agree with you. Whether or not the courts would agree with you and I is another matter.
So it doesn't go to an individual's enhancement. That's what okay.
Absolutely.
Said enough.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Okay, then we would move to the next item on this agenda, the action items. And I've been told that we're going to nominate.
Yep, we have to go through now the chair and vice chair selection, and so that's the next item on the agenda. So Board Policy 1.09 requires the committee to select a chair and vice chair at the first meeting at the start of the school year, so that's this meeting today. So we're going to start with the selection of the chair. An advisory committee member selected by the committee to serve as the chair is limited to 4 consecutive years as the chair. The current chair of the IROC committee is Mr. Dumars, and he has served for 2 consecutive terms, so he does have the ability to serve for 2 more. And so I would like to ask for nominations for the chair.
I nominate our present chair, serve another term.
Thank you.
Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Okay, so hearing none, all in favor of electing Mr. Dumars as chair, please signify as saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? So I can now say that you are elected with unanimous support. So thank you, Mr. Dumars. Okay, so next on the agenda, we have the selection of the vice chair, and there is no term limit on the vice chair. So can I have a nomination for the current vice chair is Mr. George Elmore. Can I have a nomination for the vice chair?
Go ahead. I was going to say, I'll nominate George Elmore.
Great.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? No? Hearing none. All in favor of electing Mr. Elmore vice chair of the IROC? Please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay.
I'll have to
Any-
live another year now, right?
Can't go anywhere.
All right, any opposed? There's no one opposed. So, Mr. Elmore, thank you. You have been elected for a vice chair, again, for now the third year. All right, so that's all we have on the agenda, other than going through the next meeting. So our next meeting is scheduled for November 5th. I can't believe this year is almost over. And so it's November 5th at 9 a.m.
Okay, with that, if there are no other comments or anything, then I would accept the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Okay,
Great, Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Siegel, for joining virtually. We appreciate that.
I saw the chair and vice chair on the agenda. Didn't we just do that? Like,